5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone, my name is Tyler2022 and today I'll be playing Ehrgeiz's brand new quest, and with me today is my good friend Alien, who also plays this game.
Hey, what's up guys? Hope you're enjoying the marathon so far.
Yeah, so this run is quite a bit different to what you would normally see. To kind of just put it simply, this is kind of like a side game mode to a 3D fighting game where it's a dungeon crawler where there are randomized floors and random enemies, and it's really crazy. But there is some marathon safety we're going to be saving a couple times, and we have some decent strats to make it to where we can get through the game pretty effectively. And we'll be playing this on hard mode, which is actually the easier mode to play on, and then playing as Koji. So I'm going to start the time once I select the character, and here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right. So the first couple floors are just going to be really simple, nothing too much going on here. You see these little enemies here. You're going to see a lot of different kinds of enemies. The one-armed man, which he carries a red potion, but we don't have to worry about that. And then on the stairs. So we want to try to find the stairs as quickly as possible, and we're also going to be level 1 the whole time. Nice stairs. So this is really good because, again, we just try and get down to the bottom as fast as possible. And for this first couple of floors, there are little side rooms with some food in it. So if I run into a side room, I'm going to pick up a couple pieces of food. Food's very important as it helps with our stamina gain. See, there's a lot of different kinds of enemies, bats and weird octagon-shaped things. This is a fairy fountain. We can use this to restore health and repair weapons. One thing to also take note is that while there are enemies present, the minimap goes away, but it'll be there for a couple frames, so I can kind of stare at that corner of the screen and I can see where stuff is. So I'm constantly looking at that corner of the screen throughout most of the run, which is why it's kind of hard to just read chat while I'm doing this. So already breezing through this. Floor 3 by about minute 19 is actually like speedrun pace and like what you would want. I think I'll let Alien talk a little bit about some of the things coming up as far as like finding certain types of rooms and like what we're looking for in the run overall.
Yeah, the first couple floors are very straightforward. You kind of get used to the game and how you have to juggle your stamina, your life, and all the information in the bottom right corner. You're mostly using the bottom right corner in terms of navigation more than looking at the room itself. With all these enemies piling around you too, there is a maneuver called the guard break, where you can hold block and press the jump button to have a sort of like get off me attack, where all the enemies around you will scatter around the corners of the room, which is very useful for getting out of tight situations, and is even more so apparent at the ends of the run, where you can take a lot of damage from a single blow. Since, like Tyler said, we're going to be level 1 throughout the run, yeah. Like almost, yeah, pretty much the entire game. It's very crucial that you don't get hit.
Now, the one downside to doing the guard break is that you actually waste stamina, which once you're hungry and you're starving, it doesn't really matter. Also, a nice pumpkin room, just right off the bat. So, these are Japanese pumpkins. This is probably one of the best sources of getting stamina. Since we are level 1, we don't need to really care about what kind of food we eat as long as it recovers stamina. But if we were to level up, certain foods give you certain stat gains, and that would be kind of important. But for us, you know, we're just worried about trying to get the best one. Also, bananas. So, got a lot of food here. You're pretty healthy on the food, and I'm going to take the time to equip some of the potions as well.
Yeah, inventory management is crucial, because not only does he have to make sure he has enough for healing and stamina gain, he needs to also have a good weapon by the end of the run, because we're going to be avoiding encounters throughout, but there are a couple forced ones, boss fights at the end of the run that we have to take care of. So on top of potions, magic is optional. He has those 2 orbs in the bottom right corner with the 50 next to that. That's like his ammo count.
It's magic though, yeah.
Yeah.
Reference Final Fantasy, by the way.
So there's also one thing that we're going to be doing in the marathon. We're going to have saving with money, so you can pick up gold coins, which in the main game or in the normal difficulty, you can use it at the shop, and you can purchase, items or weapons like a typical RPG. But in the case of hard mode, which is what we're playing now, where you only access the dungeon, it's used for saving. So he's gonna need some of that coming up in the mid, like a mid game, so he can save.
Or like the mid floors. Oh my god, this guy keeps on faking me out. oh, so down then over here. I got mixed up. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the pathway as well.
Yeah, there's so much improvising and on-the-fly memory exercises that you have to do when you run this game.
I'm gonna grab that potion. Oh, okay. Dodged it. Okay.
Yeah, one neat thing that you saw a little bit back there was when you take damage and it would be enough to put you at death, the potions that you have equipped in the bottom right will restore your health by its designated amount. So blue potions 50, red potions 150, and yellow potions 300. So the worst possible thing is when the enemies are in a narrow hallway lined up right next to each other.
Which just happened to take place there, but it's all good. Made it through, didn't waste too much in terms of potions and food, but yeah, so I'll be making a save around floor 13, and I'm wanting to try to find a mid-floor weapon just in case I do happen to get into a fight. I can kind of at least try and salvage the run from that point. So I'm going to try and find a weapon at around the 9 to 12 floor area, trying to find a decent weapon just to have. It's a very strange pathway going here.
Right. Speaking of fighting, that's the one thing that we kind of have to work around, is that we can't take the most straightforward path out of a given room, like these rooms with the multiple corridors and stuff leading outside. The big rooms have switches on the ground that are like traps, so when you hit those switches, the doors close and you have to kill every enemy on the screen and the ones that are constantly spawning once you take them out. So we need to avoid that at all costs, which means we have to venture around the corners of the room, so we have to be very careful of that. Taking a fight you can't win is pretty much the #1 way to lose a run.
Now, this weapon here is actually really good later on, but because it's so early, this weapon isn't that great, but this is probably one of the better weapons to get late game. So I'm going to equip it now just in case I do get trapped. And as you can see, the music does change, and there's kind of like a theme, and the background changes a little bit to each of these floors here. So I believe it's every 3 or 4 floors the music does change, and so does the background area. Also, since we're on floor 7, I have a bomb. I do not. So if I were to have a bomb, I can get a pickaxe, which is a pretty good mid-game item to get, but I did not have a bomb, unfortunately. Now, on floor 5, I picked up pumpkins, and there's a specific room for that. And we're going to be getting that same thing, but on floor 12. But instead of prioritizing north and south, we have to prioritize the size, because there's a side room with, like, a gopher or something, and he has about, 15 pumpkins there. So we're going to be finding that once we get to floor 12. Again, trying to not use guard break too much, but I may have to in some areas. There's that lion. Okay, doing pretty good though. Yeah, we got a lot of potions, which never bad to have too many potions, especially later on.
It's a Tyler special.
Yeah, I guess having a million potions, but then I find no weapons. Because I was actually practicing before this run, and I had a lot of potions, and I found one weapon at floor 19, which is not ideal, obviously. This guy is just playing chicken with me. So yeah, but up until then, there's not going to be too much else going on, just trying to get through. Now you're going to see different kinds of enemies throughout the run, and some of them will show up later on, just in different forms and just be more powerful. There's a lot of interesting design choices for some of these enemies, that's for sure.
Yeah, some are worse to deal with than others, for sure. There's this Naga enemy that can zip around the entire room in one swipe and take down all your health.
Yeah, full screen, and like she can just be not even in the picture, like she can just tackle you or whatever and just does a lot of damage. Also, need to get out of this area. Yeah.
With each like horrifying enemy, there's always one trivial enemy to counteract that.
Yeah. Alright, found the stairs. Okay, so far so good. I mean, getting 1 minute per floor is actually fairly decent and is like maybe near a PB pace, but I mean, these floors are random, so I can't just guarantee that I'll always be doing this. But so this is the like prison section where there are prisons. There's gonna be equipment there, and there's gonna be potions, and those are in the north and south corridors, which if I run into them, great. If not, no big deal. That is an altar, which is not good and adds even more RNG, and it can potentially just do nothing for you. Oh.
Right.
Okay, so I got trapped, so that's why we pick up this weapon, just in case.
That's a fairly decent one to get.
Except I'm getting knocked down.
The most efficient way of combat is to do this jumping attack that has really high damage rolls overall, as opposed to just grounded attacks or this charge-up attack you can get. But it does have considerable wind-up.
This might be death. You're spawning in at an alarming... Yep, so that is the first continue of the run, but... Hey, and at floor 10, which... So, that's great.
This is why the estimate's 45.
Just in case.
The game could be over really quick, or they could just totally screw you. Like, there's that time where you can just have enemies non-stop spawning at you. There's not really a whole lot you can do about it.
My initial plan was to save at floor 12, but I might change that now to something a little bit earlier. So, yeah. That doesn't happen too often. I don't normally get trapped at those low-level floors too often. That's not something very common. So, back to floor 1. It's okay, though. We're gonna run it back. It's gonna be alright. It's unfortunate, though, because some of those floors was really fast, and that we essentially were just, like, walking straight down, so... It's gonna be hard to compete with that. Dungeon grass on that first side room there, which is essentially nothing. It gives you a little bit of stamina, but it's not too good. But you would much rather get mushrooms or strawberries. Again, floor 1, all these enemies are a joke essentially, so they don't do too much damage, so you can just kind of ignore them for the most part. I am not finding the way out of here at all. Alright, found the way out.
We mentioned the types of rooms that can appear on certain floors, and there are certain ones that are essential for either safety or, you know, having a extra stamina from the pumpkins and stuff. We know where those are because although this game is procedurally generated, there are a couple rooms that you can always expect to be on specific floors. It's not like pure RNG. Like you can't have a...
I can't like guarantee it's going to be in this hallway. Like as I like know that I'm looking for like this kind of hallway for that specific kind of room on a certain floor.
Yeah, there are some floors where you're looking for rooms that go up and down, some that go left and right, some that are corners. It just depends on how much knowledge you have of the layout.
And right now I'm getting punished for going the wrong way. Okay, I just need to go in the side room so I can look at the map again. See, unfortunately, I went that pathway and that was not the correct one, so now I gotta go all the way back here. Go down one of these two paths. Which again branches off. Try this. Oh, potion.
Yeah, PBing in this game can be a nightmare because it's one wrong decision like that and you lose all the time. But it's like you would have no real reason to know it's wrong. Just the game decides it is.
Come on. Oh my, this is the worst timeline.
Wonderful combat.
Why did you auto-lock to that guy over there?
Riveting.
Okay, so... It's all just a warm-up, don't worry. We're gonna have a marvelous PB run right now, and it's just gonna go just boom, straight to the bottom.
PB run even, alright.
PB run, this is just practice RNG setup, by the way.
All you can really do in that situation is pray. Like, you could either spend all your resources guard breaking and resetting their AI and stuff, or just, you know, hoping that it's gonna go right. There's so much luck in this game that you can't really get mad when it goes wrong.
Except for in a marathon, because it shouldn't go wrong that bad in a marathon, but it's alright. Just keep on trucking. It's just...
A run's still a run, even
I don't think I've ever died on floor 2 before like that. I think that's probably a first I've ever died on floor 2. I'm going to be completely honest with everyone right now.
Hey, join the club.
Yeah, you guys are gonna quite a treat. 3 runs in 1 marathon run. You're getting a triple deal here to see 3 attempts. Finding some food on the ground as well. Alright. This is probably the most interesting Ehrgeiz run that I've ever done. See if I can go under estimate whenever I'm plus 15 now. It's not impossible, but not very probable. Okay, hey, that's alright.
See, we just need more of those.
Yeah, we just need all of the stairs to be like that, and we're good. Pick up some of these mushrooms here for precautionary measures. Also, while I'm here, I didn't equip my potions just because I was being lazy and wanting to go on my menu, but I'm just going to equip my potion now in case something like that happens again, because I probably could have survived if I had one of my potions on me. Okay. A lot of different options here. That's a floor boss. We don't need to worry about that too much. They're just a big waste of time unless you're doing all bosses, really. But
yeah, there's an alternate category called all bosses. Every couple floors has a floor boss. There's like one on the first, then one on the third, then it has one boss on each third floor from there. Kind of a cool category, but
oh no,
the bosses themselves don't really give anything that useful, and they're not at all necessary for completing the game. You get magic spells, and yeah, that's pretty much what you get. And none of them are really providing aid to go, you know, faster.
That's unfortunate.
There are a lot of cool ideas, though. Wow.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You,
just never lucky.
You know, always picking the wrong way, even though it's an equal chance that it'll be the right way.
Oh, whoops. Went up one too many. Alright, so this is a full exploration of floor 3, so you guys are getting a real treat here as well. You're getting the full experience of this third floor. You see all what it has to offer. All the wonderful,
I hope it's not all the way on the right.
It's totally all the way on the right. Man, I wish it was just a straight shot to the right. If I would have just kept on going right, I would have made it. I wasn't feeling the right side, but... Oh, at least there's potions here. At least I'm getting something out of this.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way to justify going one way over the other, really. Like, we've theory crafted tendencies for the stairs to appear at, like, certain sides, but as soon as we think of an idea, it always, like, gets shown the opposite when we actually do a run. It's probably the least predictable part of the run.
Alright,
which is frustrating.
Well, that narrows it down pretty well, so that's not too bad. Just narrows things down. I've got to go down now. It is both those directions have dead ends, so... Floor 4, 1 away from 5, which is important for the pumpkin room. Just ducked out that room real quick, just to kind of see where I needed to go. And as you can see, that guy has really fast attack animation. Is there? Yeah, that was there.
Yeah, a lot of the time, one of the most safe strategies is to dip into a room and get some information, especially if the room previous was also filled with enemies. You kind of don't get a lot of time to react to what's going on, so you can get some time to figure out where the exit might be, or even if it's a four-corner room to begin with, as opposed to a hallway.
Oh, jelly! Jello. 2 rooms of jello. Okay. This isn't the worst. Oh, wait, oh, I misread that completely. Try not to use guard break too much here. Oh, God, okay. Alright, we have found the way through, and we should be getting close to the exit, hopefully. We explored pretty much most of this floor as well. Oh, port hallway. Alright. Oh my god. Why are you vibrating like that? Okay, get out of my way. Alright, floor 5. I'm gonna save after this, because apparently I can die after floor 5. That is not a myth. That is very well a possibility. So once we find the pumpkins, once we go down to floor 6, we are definitely going to be saving.
The difficulty in this game is sort of schizophrenic. It starts out like a joke, completely easy and, you know, hard to mess up, but sometimes you just get unlucky. And then it just gets to completely brutal. These 3 floors, 4 through 6, are brutal for newcomers.
Immediately.
And then it dips back to being pretty easy again for a little while. Until late game, where it goes back to it becomes even harder than ever before.
Oh, you're kidding! I have to go through that hallway. You're kidding.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Fun little Ehrgeiz.
Let me jump over you, jellyfish. Thank you.
Better equip that potion.
Yeah, I am now. Alright, let's go down. Fight him again. Woo! Hiya!
The worst rooms. More often than not, it's more worth to just jump over. You can gain some extra height with the jump attack, but the ending lag sort of does leave you vulnerable.
You've got to be kidding me right now. Please be the way out.
We've been meaning to do some myth busting, because it seems like these horde...
I have an idea.
What? Oh my god.
Because if I die, I can go back here and I'll have full health and stamina. If I somehow die here, which is a very high possibility, because this is some bullshit, but...
Better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Because being sorry takes several minutes.
Yeah, and we're already about 20 minutes into the estimate, and I'd like to finish this run, but this is starting to look a little bit Monka-esque, to say the least. You knocked me out of the air. I was trying to jump attack and he knocked me. What a guy. Okay. Alright, just let me slide in. Nice.
Yeah, ever since runners started running the Japanese version primarily, we've been seeing a lot more of these narrow hallways littered with enemies. I don't know if that's a coincidence or the US version actually has that happen less, but...
Yeah, it's very strange.
It'd be cool to find out.
Need to find food. Oh, there it is.
Unraveling the enigma of how exactly the game structures itself would be the key to, you know, being Omega speedrunner for this game, but until that happens, we are at the mercy of its RNG.
Yeah. I've kind of come across on, like, similar to, like, what the task does, is you would start on a certain frame, and I've gotten the task start where you essentially just walk to the very first staircase, like, a good couple times, but not too much. Like, it doesn't happen too often, and it's very inconsistent. Also, this is another bad floor. Okay, I didn't see you, but okay. Alright. Oh, wonderful. I was just thinking to myself, you know what? I want another horde hallway. This game is having its time with me and having a good old fun time toying with me. I've never seen this many hallways in one, like, floor, ever.
A lot of firsts happening this time. This game just keeps on giving.
We found the pumpkin floor, but now we have to find the stairs. Which, knowing me, is going to be, like, right here. Nope. Alright, we have made it past floor 5, the inevitable 5 floor. And I don't even have enough money to save right now, so I actually... Hey, mushrooms and meats. That's pretty nice. Very odd mixture of foods for your diet, but... Okay... I'm gonna try to go down here. Bats are really bad, especially in the horde hallways. Those are, like, the worst enemies. Finding potions, which is good. This is alleviating a lot of the pain that I went through earlier. So... I'm gonna find some of these potions. This is gonna help out later on. Yeah, so we're essentially just trying to get back to where we were before, which is, I believe, around floor 12 or so. So,
Let's see.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a save around 10 to 12. I shouldn't have that happen again, because, again, I don't... just get me out of here. Okay. This is way too many horde hallways for my taste. Tried to react. Was not successful. Okay, let's go up. Alright, found the stairs. Okay. These floors are getting progressively shorter and shorter, so hopefully by the time we get to like 10, we're just gonna walk straight down. Now, floor 7, we want to try and... Never mind, we're just gonna walk straight down. I was gonna say we're gonna try and find the room for the pickaxe. But hey, you know what? I'm more worried about just finishing the run at this point.
Yeah, unlike the pumpkins and stuff, it's a lot less necessary to get the pickaxe. You get some crazy powerful weapons towards the end, and you only need to kill a couple bosses at the end, so you don't need to worry about weapons along the way unless you're worried about getting trapped. Which
I am, of course. As you see, I've already gotten trapped twice, so...
Yeah, actually, it's not the end of the world if you don't get them, though.
Alright. Oh, money, I need that. For sure. It's too close. No. Way too close.
Yeah.
I attempted a couple times, and after that many failed attempts, I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna leave it be.
Yeah, some of these rooms you can clearly see he's passing up opportunities for potion. That's, again, just because it's in the middle of the room, it's just not safe. You know, grabbing a potion and then getting trapped and killed.
It's just like the worst bait ever.
Yeah! That's one of the first real tests we've ran into when running this game. Oh good, a dead end. Wow, I hope this one down isn't a dead end either.
Hey, it's not. Nice.
Excellent.
Alright, so... think if we just keep on doing the same pace for all these floors, I think we're gonna finish right on estimate. So as long as I just don't take too long for these floors, I think we're gonna be alright. So this is kind of like the mining area. I'd like to say it's like the mining thing. We see a lot of these like mine carts carrying rocks and stuff, and music changes, different kinds of enemies. Start to see bears and stuff.
Yeah, it seems kind of weird how this like mechanism's still running. There haven't been people down here for a long time. I think in like the lore, there's one guy who is exploring this place, and you find his diary notes in normal mode. But other than that, I haven't really heard of anyone being down here, so it's kind of weird, unless the monsters are living their own advanced society.
Now that'd be cool. Oh, floor boss, don't need to worry about him. Let's truck on back here. Yeah, and for the altars and then for the fairy fountains, you're going to find those to the northern rooms, so sometimes a lot of us are kind of anxious on like trying to like go to these like north rooms because they could be the altar and it's like a waste of time. So oh, that guy was going to try and do a global attack. Later on there's going to be a specific enemy that is well known for just ruining runs because he has a global attack for the room that just knocks you down and it takes away a lot of your potions.
Oh yeah. No matter where you are in that room, you're gonna get hit by that attack.
Whoops. Hey, stop pausing, will you? Make a save here, because again, I have money and I'm just trying to be extra safe, just make sure that we try to get through the run and it doesn't take too much time to save. Also, I'm getting kind of thirsty after all this. Okay. Alright. And again, saving only costs us 10 gold times our current level, and since we're wanting to stay level 1 the entire game, it's only costs us 10 to save, so it's not too bad. Alright, this is the prisons. Mainly here for the potions. I believe there's only one set of potions. Oh no, there's the yellow one. So also, one thing that we forgot to talk about is that the potions, there's 3 different types. There's blue, red, and yellow, kind of like level 1, 2, and 3. To my understanding, red pretty much fills you up at level 1 most of the time, and I think blue fills you up like 75%, I believe. But we're going to be using these potions throughout the run just to like tank hits, and also like we're going to go starving, and because of that, it's going to drain all of our health, and we're going to eat a potion because we don't have enough health, and that kind of just makes the strat work. Also, I'm...
Right. And then one little nuance to keep in mind is that this game... Oh, boy.
I'm just going to reset since I made a save in this.
Hey, that's why you make saves.
Yep.
In regards to potions, if you're going to starve yourself, it's more effective to use the potion rather than let the potion use itself, because the game compensates for any overflowing damage you might have taken from an attack by giving you less health from a potion. So it's just one little thing to keep in mind, but it's not overall that important.
Alright, loading the save. Now, loading the save does give us full health and full stamina, so that's one of the big benefits of actually using the save, is that we just get full health, full stamina.
Yeah, it's not practical enough to do in RTA, but it's still really nice, and especially helpful in casual playthroughs.
So I know that way found us potions, but at the very end it was a dead end. So we're gonna go this way now just to kind of see our other options here. I'm trying to hug the walls the best that I can to avoid traps. Oh, okay.
Oh, the helmet on the ground earlier reminded me that it's really ill-advised to go for armor in the run. Armor weighs you down, it drains your stamina faster, and...
Recently discovered it actually makes your weapon deteriorate faster as well. Unless it's like a certain kind of... I think it's the belly armor or something like that. It's like some kind of...
Yeah, full belly something, full belly helmet, something.
Yeah. It's very specific.
Yeah, this game has some really weird stuff it does with specific sets of armor and weapons. Like sometimes you'll use one weapon and it'll break in 3 hits for no reason.
Yeah, glass
like,
weapons, yeah, just...
even like the regular weapons, they'll have max durability and then they'll just break. And no one can explain why it happens.
They're just cursed for whatever reason by the gods.
Yeah. They haven't blessed the sword.
Alright. Can you stop attacking me? Thank you.
Oh yeah, these floors are littered with these like pyramid guys with horns. They have weakness to magic, but if you try and hit them with physical attacks, they're not going to take any damage whatsoever, which is kind of why keeping the materia as a safety measure in case, say, we get into a horde hallway and we need to take out the magic enemies on the way, because magic pretty much always one-shots them.
Alright, found a good mid-floor weapon. Actually going to make a save here, because we did find the weapon and we haven't made it out yet, but because I've gotten trapped so many times, I'm just being extra precautious here.
It's crucial towards the end of the run, too, to take a look at how much durability the weapon has once you pick it up, because you may need to take a visit to the fairy fountain. The fairy fountain, on top of restoring all your health, you can, get full repair on your weapon that you're equipped with.
Now, there's a rare case where some of these weapons can actually be cursed to where you cannot guard break with them. I've had that happen to me a couple times. And that can be kind of frightening. So sometimes if I find a weapon and I'm not unsure about it, I'll just do, one guard break just to make sure. But I believe there's some kind of text telling you that it is cursed and that you cannot guard break with it. But yeah, that's another thing in the game for whatever reasons that you could potentially just not be able to guard break, which is an essential strat for the end game.
Yeah, without guard breaking, the last bosses
you have to like grind levels, and it just is a lot slower.
Yeah, because there's no guaranteed way to not take damage when you're fighting them without it. The cursed weapons also prevent you from guarding in general, which...
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's even
Alright.
worse.
Found the room. There's this little gopher guy, but he's doing 1 damage to us, so we don't really need to worry about him too much. Also, the thing to mention is that in the Japanese version exclusively, there is a glitch where if you drop too much stuff, it can bug the game, and where the last enemies, or like the last bosses, will not spawn.
Yeah, the game is overflowing with objects to recognize, so when it's trying to make room for that, it takes the stuff at the bottom and removes it in favor of the new items that are spawning. So goodbye end bosses, and you can't beat the game.
Yeah, well, luckily that doesn't happen too often, but whenever I first started running the game and I was like, cycling through my items pretty quickly and like dropping stuff, picking it back up, I didn't know about this, and then one run I actually made it to the end and I was like, oh, where's all the bosses? They all just like went out for lunch, like no one was there. It was just very strange.
Yeah, it'd be super cool if we could abuse that and make it so we didn't have to fight them, but...
Oh, that'd be the greatest.
The last boss, it needs to have a trigger go off that it's dead in order for us to beat the game, so rip.
Alright. Floor 13. I was supposed to make a save here. I'll make one in the next available safe room. Oh, okay. Never mind, I'll make one to 14 now, because I made it past. Yeah, some of these guys have really fast movement speed, and some of their attacks can be very quick. So, getting past some of these enemies are quite annoying. And also, sometimes getting stunned by them getting hit leads you to getting hit by another enemy as well, which just makes things even worse, and you just lose multiple potions doing that.
One of the added benefits to leveling up is that your hit stun when you take damage is reduced dramatically, like a lot, once you level up a good dozen times. but since we're not doing that at all, if we didn't have the guard break, we'd be getting stun locked by probably just one enemy at a time even could do it, which is really scary. So guard breaking, knowing when to guard break either proactively or reactively is a very good skill to have in the later game.
So we were talking about earlier how like this game's kind of schizophrenic with the difficulty. Once we get past this floor, things are going to start getting kind of scary.
Oh yeah.
And that once we get to like the I think it's like the Egyptian themed floors.
Yeah.
Oh, those right there. Those are shredders. If they hit you, they'll pretty much take out most potions in your satchel because they have really fast attacks and they do a lot of damage. So yeah, those are not good to get hit by. And if we were trying to level up these like kind of like lizard people with the human clothing on, they have a really slow attack and you'd use them to farm. See, they have a really like long attack and you just be able to hit them really easily, but
yeah, that used to be the strat. We could still do it on floor 19 since those same types of enemies reappear by then. But as far as PB attempts, we don't really go for it anymore.
Normal, you would have to level up, which normal is a very different kind of run.
Oh yeah. Yeah, normal is a whole different flavor. Yeah, once this music changes, things are about to get real.
Yeah, whenever you start hearing the little Egyptian theme and you hear the choir singing, and for these floors in the north, there's going to be these secret potion rooms, which is very important because they give us either 2 red potions or 2 yellow potions. So we're going to try and prioritize north if we can. And that's an altar, of course. So I'll be on the lookout for some weapons here. If I can grab one, I'm going to try and make it my mission to pick one up. Definitely gonna pick up that money. Now, another thing is that even though there's no enemies in the room, we still need to be careful in that we need to actually not try to go in the middle if we can, because enemies can spawn in, and if you're in the middle of the room, there goes a trap. So even in these like empty rooms, you'll see that I'm still wanting to actually hug the walls.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, the game actually...
Is this cursed? I can't tell if that's cursed or not.
It it tries to tell us in the tutorial that the longer you stay on a floor, the higher chance that can happen to you. Like the monsters are gossiping and telling everyone that you're here. So the longer you take, the more possibility that you can get ambushed, and there's not a whole lot you can do besides proactively stay at the edges. Floor 16 wasn't that bad, but...
I found a weapon, but it's not that great.
17 and 18 are going to be rough. His potion count is low, so again, we're going to be prioritizing north. Unfortunately, there's no potion set on floor 18. So whatever we have after this floor, we're probably
I'm going to go one up. Okay, well that's a fairy fountain, so that's not too bad.
That's like the next best thing.
So we did find the stairs rather quickly.
Of course, on this floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, these red potions are pretty much going to be his lifeline.
I mean, I can find potions lying on the ground, so it's not the end of the world, but I'd say like minimum where I'd be like kind of comfortable is like 2, and that's really pushing it. Like you'd really want at least 3 potions going into the final floors. So we're gonna hope to find some... Oh, hey. Oh, hey! That's pretty good.
Don't get too comfortable.
Yeah. What? Oh! Don't swing at me. Oh, I'm getting as comfortable as I can right now. I think that's a fairy fountain, maybe. So this is probably one of the better weapons in the game. And music change, so you know shit's getting real. Get one of these. Oops. Whip. And save.
Floor 19 is no sweat, but 20 is the deadliest floor in the game, bar none. You have the toughest enemies. The Nagas that I mentioned earlier are gonna zip from one side of the screen to the other. You can't really react to it happening. And those like knight archetype enemies won't hesitate to swing. On top of the alligators that like to attack at a moment's notice.
So having a lot of food here is also good, because once I do run out of potions, I can actually put food to my satchel, and during the fight, I can just eat to kind of gain more attacks, because once I start doing all the guard breaks, I'll start running out of stamina, so it's actually kind of good that I have this much food. Be cool. It's fine. Don't jump. Ain't got no hops, Koji. Also, these Nagas are really big, so they can kind of get in the way of you just leaving the area, which is scary.
Yeah, when they get in the way of you trying to walk in the corner, then you try and maneuver around them and trigger the trap, that's just the worst feeling.
Fortunately, lost a yellow potion. Don't do too much about it, though.
Tyler will get one more potion from... Actually, 2 potions, one from each boss leading up to the final boss. And... unless he can find one more potion on the way.
A... commentator's luck. No, I just need to not fucking... Oh, okay. Let's get me out of here. This is fine. Please just get me out of this room. You're okay. Wait. Okay. It's down. Come on. Yes. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna unequip my weapon here just to lose less stamina, but I'm gonna make a save here. Just right now. Actually, no. I need to find out where the rooms are first, then I need to make a save. So that's that. I need to find the Fairy Fountain. Fairy Fountain's important to know where that's at, because I need to probably repair my weapon. Wow, this is quite the detour for a Fairy Fountain. Okay. So, as you see, I'm trying to maximize the amount of stamina that I am actually wasting, so I'm unequipping all my weapons here. And right before we actually fight the first boss, I'm going to make a save. Alright, and we are 2 minutes over estimate, unfortunately. But hey, we are at the end game, and you told me after 2 continues that we'd be at the end game. At this point, I'd be saying you're a liar, so I think we're doing pretty alright.
Yeah, this run, on its own, the current run, it's been pretty good, but it is unfortunate that I got snuck up on. The bosses themselves are a test of restraint and patience. You're pretty much going to be sticking to the script the whole time. You're gonna be using the guard break, pushing him to the corner, 1 jump attack. And you gotta get him in this cycle. They will sometimes break out of it. It's rare, but you kinda just have to make a guess based on how they're moving, when it's gonna happen. He's gonna be doing this for this boss and the next dragon. He's slowly starving, but on the bright side, now that he has no stamina to worry about, he can just guard break freely. So he might need to do 2 in a row for some reason. That's totally fine. Again, we're hoping for good RNG in the fact that you can get critical hits with your weapons. It depends on what grade they are. When you pick up a weapon, it can either be like normal with no title next to it, or it could be used, perfect, king, whatever weird arbitrary things the game calls its weapons. When it has that grade next to it, you can tell how much of a critical chance it might have. So yeah, he did like 1.5 times damage earlier. That was due to his weapon grade. So yeah, that was a really smooth first boss. That was well done. And second boss shouldn't be much different, but
9 out of 12. I'm still gonna go and repair it, just being safe here. There's no reason not to. And this next fight is gonna be the longest one out of both. Like, this is the longest boss fight because he has the most armor. I think he's got a lot of armor and a lot of health. So important to not use the fairy fountain too much because it can run out. It's not this like big infinite resource. It will eventually run out, so it's important to just, once you're done, just leave immediately. Again, I'm running here without my weapon out because I want to try and be efficient with my stamina. Also, good thing to equip and save, but don't eat any pumpkins because I could be using those if I do so happen to die, and I can maybe have those for later, but this way I have full stamina anyway.
it's arguable which of the two dragons is actually harder to fight, but they both have their pros and cons. The first one has an attack that hits several times, very reminiscent of the Shredder we were talking about earlier. You can just take multiple potions in one blow before you can react, but this second Ruby Dragon right here has a lot more defense and more health to boot, so the fight will take longer. It can also be kind of sketchy how he reacts to the guard breaks. That is also kind of less consistent than the first dragon.
Yeah, like, he kind of has this, like, quick headbutt attack, and then he has this, like, fire spitting attack, and the fire spitting attack, you just want to hold your guard and wait, because if you do another guard break, then you're going to get knocked over. Then the charging headbutt, it's really fast, and you can't really avoid it too well. Okay, so right here, it's going to wait, and now. See, if I were to do that again, then I would have got knocked over, and that would have been bad news.
The fireballs only hit when you're airborne,
which is very convenient for our strat here. He was about to do it again, but I knocked him out of it.
Fun fact, if you are looking for an alternate strat to fight this boss, it's frozen by fire, so that can also be something that works. You could go recuperate in the corner or something, and then catch it by surprise with like a spinning attack or something in casual playthroughs, but as far as RTA, it's not really useful to freeze it in place since we're kind of already doing that with the guard break strat, but it's being frozen by fire was only a somewhat recent discovery, at least for us. It's kind of weird, because we tried to freeze it with other magic before and it didn't really work out, but just like, let's try fire one day, and it worked out really well. Magic in general is really underwhelming in this game.
And there's that tail attack as well, it's similar to the headbutt attack, where it's just really fast and can't really react to it too well.
It has one more additional attack, but it only happens when you're right behind it, so we don't really get to see it.
Yeah, the big giant tail smack.
Yeah.
You sometimes see that at the very beginning of the fights.
Yeah, sometimes.
Alright, so now we're pretty much guaranteed to finish the game. I'm going to check the durability here and again making a save just in case, but we might have enough just to finish. 7 out of 12, oh yeah, we have more than enough to finish. So now we're just going to pick up this last potion, and we're not going to worry about repairing the weapon, because this fight's going to be fairly quick.
The bosses leading up to this one are going to be a lot scarier in comparison. This one is more pathetic. It kind of makes sense since this is like the prize, like, I don't know. It's so weak, but also so valuable. It needed to be protected by dragons or whatever. This is the Phoenix. The whole point in the game is to kill this thing so you can gain immortality by using its feather. And it only has one attack. It's just this weird tail poking attack. It doesn't have anything else that it can do.
And the hitbox for the Phoenix is actually kind of weird, so you can sometimes kind of slide around like this, which is rather annoying.
Yeah, it's like always hitting you with its wings and stuff. It's sort of misleading, but overall not the worst boss fight, and yeah, that was a good run.
Yeah, then the two very unfortunate continues and all that aside, that run through, getting all the way through was pretty good. I'm glad I didn't go too over estimates, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Now, I think the next run up after me is going to be Rugrats by Plywood, so hope you guys enjoy that. But one little small thing that I'd like to say is that this game is a lot of fun, and we accept emulator runs, so if you're interested in running this game, you should definitely let me or someone else know, because this is a very fun game to run. And I play this game sometimes on my stream, but I mostly play MGS2. Yeah. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the marathon. And coming up next is going to be Plywood.